Back the line up. Now we going inside out. On your inside out, make sure the ball and your legs hit at the same time. So when we get there, we go in here. Inside out, tuck and finish. Once again, it's all about deception. Inside out, make sure the ball and your leg hit at the same time. When you get good, then you use the hand to go over. Hand eye, you see that? Hand eye, you see that? Third time I hit you with that. See that? Let's go, where we at? Back up, back that line up. And back that line up, let's go. Finish, let's go. Inside out, good. Good, let's go, gain speed. Good, take off, take off. Good, take off. Good.
And that is the sound of another Grassroots United. This is the Elite Wings camp here live from Wheeler High School. Coach Desmond Eastman opened it up for us. Joe Hilsman, Barry Browner, Lewis Preston, 3/4 of the Georgia Hoop Circle.
King, tuck and finish, take off with one leg. You can do that, take off with one.
As we continue to peel in and listen at Coach Desmond Eastman drop that knowledge for the Wings.
Get to the rim as quick as possible when you take off with one. Get there quicker. Let's go.
So now, as we continue to look at this drill that goes forth here, there's a drill segment to it.
There you go.
And then we will have the controlled scrimmages, which will come later. And also, the insight of 3/4 of the Georgia Hoop Circle. Grassroots United, Elite Wings camp here at Wheeler High School. Barry Browner, Lewis Preston. Guys, we were at the original one, which was all your AAU programs put together, but Coach Eastman, Desmond Eastman, known for developing the talent. Now this is just your wings, your 2s and your 3s. Early thoughts, we've all been here for a little while, checked out some drills and did our own little fair share of networking. What's the early thoughts?
Well, for me, you know, it brings back memories of me having a elite camp and having a chance to really watch guys and see who's going to compete. You know, I'm always excited to see Brendan Tucker, you know, to have an opportunity to see how he's continuing to develop. You know, Jameer Chaplin, a bunch of other young men that's out here. So really excited to see all these guys. But more importantly for me, I like to see some new names and see some new guys that are going to be the up-and-comers on the horizon. And then the next thing is to see how these guys develop when they get with their high school teams, and we continue to follow them throughout the year.
I mean, you look at a guy like Matt Davis, who kind of came on in the summertime at the Summer Explosion from Northview. You look at a guy like Eric Coleman, who's adjusting well to being a beautiful Coach Eddie Martin. Brendan Tucker, you know what? I've watched Brendan Tucker a couple times, man. He's really starting to grow on me. He's got some stuff with him. But a guy I'm curious to see in this setting is a guy like Jelani James out of Lanier. Excellent player, man. Had a big time summer, I thought. Was really good. So it'll be, and it's a couple of other guys. You got Tyler Johnson, Canty. You got guys like that. What's the kid? Jamonte Hill. So it'll be interesting to see. And you know Jameer Chaplin. Yeah. And the guy like Alan Breed now is going to be able to step up and show what his skill set is like.
It's interesting you say that. We talked about Dutchtown and their deep run that they made there. Dontavius King is in the fold here. And his growth and development over the summer and spring and summer is very interesting to see. You guys brought up Matt Davis. We know if you leave him in a corner, it's trouble. Beginning to pick up some interest from some smaller schools, getting some interest a little bit from some major schools. So it's going to be interesting to see how he unfolds. And like you say, some new names is always what you want to be able to find. But then there's some guys here, you know their names, and they're trying to continue to make sure you know your name. So it's going to be very interesting. You guys mentioned Tyler Johnson and Quincy Canty. I think those two guys are really there. Chase Ellis, we'll be able to see what he's able to do. And I think, Barry, you made a great point with Alan Breed. There's been some movement over at McEachern, and he can step up. He showed this summer he can put the ball in the basket, has bounce, can get out in transition. So how much is his development going to be an asset to them with point production coming up this year?
I'm gonna give you a name drop, and I know this is gonna be a homer. Y'all guys know me, man, but there's a point guard out here from Newton. kid named Miles Rice, man.
Okay.
Got a chance to step up and be a really big player for Coach Rams this year with the new Rams as well.
And why is that a homer drop?
I mean, well, you know, I get to see Miles every day. So.
It's homer drop.
Jelani James, you mentioned him. We know about Sion, but Jelani did kind of separate himself this year, especially at the summer explosion, and able to drop some threes in a big game-winning three. So it's just very interesting. Now, Coach, you said this reminds you a lot of your elite camps. If you're an individual player, you're here. What is it that you want to take away the most from it? Because you already know the track record that Grassroots has laid and the track record of Desmond Eastman.
When I said it reminds me of elite camp, it gives, you know, numerous eyes an opportunity to see some different skills of these different young men. What I want to come out here and see today is who competes. You know, who's going to separate themselves, because for the most part, this is the cream of the crop, you know, for the next 3 classes. And you just want to see, all right, what do I need to work on? What am I good at? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? How can I handle being in a different environment? How can I separate myself from everybody that gives me a niche over everybody else? And last but most importantly, I always go back, I tell you guys this all the time with what Coach Donovan said, how can I impact winning without necessarily scoring the basketball?
Barry, your view from it, you've been a bench boss before, and then you take a look at the development. I mean, what are you looking at it from a player or coach standpoint?
I mean, I always look at this as a situation for my guys to get better. Anytime you think about the situation, as a coach, you know this, Coach Preston, you don't get a lot of chance to do a whole lot of skill development. So anytime you get a chance to come to a situation like this, and you got a guy, Desmond Eastman, you got a guy like Mark Edwards, these guys have trained some guys that are playing college ball right now. Jaylen Brown, of course, is playing with the Celtics. I know that Dez is trained Michael Beasley as well, too. So it's interesting for those guys to be able to get this training and get this situation. And it's good to kind of watch your guys develop.
Right. Inside Wheeler High School on the Wheeler Wildcat Arena. It is the Grassroots United Elite Wings Camp, 2s and 3s. Every player is a high school player, so you got everyone from 2021, 2020, and 2019 all mixed together. And using the Spalding basketball, Spalding the official partner of Grassroots United in the Elite Wings Camp, providing all of the basketballs, which you know is the godfather of basketball.
I love Spalding. Love Spalding. It's a great shooter's ball right there. Great shooting ball.
I always say it's not the NBA if it ain't Spalding. So that's just pretty much how they go. I know at the high school level we got Adidas and Nike, and I'm a swoosh guy, but yeah, that's Spalding, man.
And I wasn't a shooter. And I still like to shoot with those balls. I was a defensive guy, so keep doing your thing, Spalding. Keep doing your thing.
Making the move and finishing on the right side of the basket. Being operated at all 4 baskets here inside of Wildcat Arena. I'm seeing some shirts are really, really dark from the sweat. I'm seeing some are not so much.
Right.
But they began to hit the floor at about 9:30 a.m. So they've been out here now a good hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half.
Enough time to get a good sweat going, no doubt about that.
You know, one of the things right here that Coach Eastman's talking about when they're coming in for that little hop step to power off to and finish, you know, it's the little things that, you know, watching these certain guys, what they're doing with the basketball. They're keeping it in tight. They're keeping it out there in front to where it can get slapped. Are they going from ear to ear? And then do they have their eyes on the prize and head up when they're finishing? Those are the little things that a lot of times that you're looking at, and people that are watching this are looking at to see, you know, in regards to how they're going to translate to college, you know, and how easily or how difficult is it going to be for me as a coach at that level to teach them these simple things as they prepare to make that next jump.
It's interesting that you bring out that the small things. We had the CP3 Rising Stars camp last week, and you know, I've privileged to been there 4 times, but he said it every single time. He always does it when he's talking with the campus. He's like, you can make that move, you go wide in high school, you can get away with it in high school. In college, you got to sharpen it up a little bit. In the NBA and pro ball, you got to cut it.
Got to be tight.
Tight
Gotta
all
be
the way.
tight.
And those are the small things that'll put you through. As we go through the drill portion here, which it all is drill. There'll be some controlled scrimmages after lunch. There will be a lunch period there, and of course we'll have the Jalen Brown workout during the lunch period. So how about that? They get to rest during lunch, eat a little bit, and then watch Jalen Brown work out.
You know, for me, I think it's very, I think it's great for all these young men in here and the families to see a local product that has gone on to that next level. And they're going to have an opportunity to see just how hard you have to work. Very fortunate this week. Was over at Core 4 facility, and Nuggets were in town and having a chance to watch those guys. But I really got a chance to really focus on some local product. Marcus George's Hunt was there. Lorenzo Brown was there working out. Jared Jack was there working out. And let me tell you, Jared Jack got to the gym every day an hour and 15 before everybody else, and got his own shooting workout in before the rest of the guys got there to go into their workouts and everything. And that really stuck out to me, because that's the reason why he is a 12-year, soon to be 13-year veteran.
Coach Desmond Eastman is mic'd up, so let's take a look and see what he's going to do as he lines them up in another drill.
There we go. Where my dunkers at? Okay, King.
I do that on the regular.
Okay, where my dunkers at now? Hey, it done changed on the left side, baby. Okay, Coleman, somebody been working. Okay, a little better. Good, where my dunkers at now? Oh, wrong leg. Yeah, we got deficiencies on this side. Good job. We got deficiencies. Stutter step. Let's go. Wrong leg, 21. Wrong leg. Good. Wrong leg. Good. Oh, we going off for one. We going off for one. Wrong leg, we going off for one. Good job. Let's go, we going off for one. 1, 2, wrong leg. Wrong leg, we going off for one. Good. There you go. There you go. There you go. There we go. Good job. Good job. Good job. Tuck and finish. Good. Come on, make layups. Make layups. Let's go. Inside out. Inside out. Let's go. Sell it. Good. Good. Sell it. Going up for one. Sell it. Good. Good job, Coleman. Wrong leg. God damn, where'd that come from, Eric? Thank you. Good speed, good job, 71. Wrong leg, 21. Let's go, stop and go. Stop and go, stop and go. Good, B. Good, B. Come on, Bree. Good job, Green. Good job.
So Coach Eastman, of course, as any coach would do, get him to go through the drills. One of the things that I like, stop missing layups. You got to make layups, man. You have to make layups.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's the difference between you winning and losing a ball game at times. A layup here, a layup there.
More importantly, that's the difference between you playing the game and sitting on the bench.
That is true. That is true. Especially with this drill, in and out. The end move, coach, you know you got to sell it and come back. So you finishing left hand, left side. I always remember the Magic Johnson story.
Right, exactly. And one of the things about that, when you watch these young men come off this drill, I'm always looking at the, once again, you were talking about a CP3, you were talking about the small things. Fellas, if you go down and then you raise up, that means you got to go back down, advantage defense. If you're staying low the whole time and then you're coming off, advantage offense. Because all you got to do is get the head and shoulders by the guy and being able now, once you get to high school, it's the first drill or wherever, it's the first drill I would do to cut guys in a tryout. If you can't do right hand, left hand, I don't have time for that.
Pretty much.
I don't have time.
Or if you can't run the figure, I almost got cut for not being able to run the figure 8.
How'd it work?
Figure 8.
Yeah, till they figured out, to just give me the ball, I'm just going to dunk everything. I mean, everything. Everything gets dunked. Coach was like, man, I'm going to cut you, man. I was like, look, watch this.
Bro, you couldn't run the figure 8, man.
Shout out to Redan, man. Coach Bird.
Really?
Coach Bird, yeah. True story.
They call it the 3-man weave, too.
I couldn't get it right. I honestly could not get it right. But
Pass
then,
behind,
but
move.
they were like, once you get the ball, once you get close to the basket, just take off. And I took off every time.
So what'd you do before that, though?
I was running into people. I was tripping. I was falling. Hey, man, so you know what? I wish that this was going on when I was that age.
Now,
because,
yes, I'll agree.
no offense, I probably wouldn't be here with y'all. I'd probably be a McDonald's All-American. I'd probably be in the pros.
I'd have been at least in Europe.
Because
At least.
I
Minimum.
couldn't run the figure 8.
Turkey,
I
somewhere.
just couldn't do it. Something I couldn't do.
I don't even have any words to say right now. You can't do a figure 8, bro.
I almost got cut in college like that, too, though.
I'm still, you know, I'm.
Shouts out to John L. Williams, because he.
Hey, look, don't tell nobody that no more.
Look,
out loud,
please.
man.
Hey,
That just hurt Georgia Hoop Circle.
look, shout out to John L. Williams, because he refused to cut me for not being able to do that till he realized, guess what I could do? Dunk everything.
Okay, all right.
Everything.
All right, I'm gonna leave it at that. But once again, I'm always, I mean, you know, once a coach, always a coach. You just don't leave it. You don't lose it. It's in your bones. I just like to watch all the little things that these young men are out here doing. Understanding, are they focused on when you're making that move down the middle, there's going to be defense that rotates over. So what are you doing to make sure you protect that ball, right, and still get that ball into the basket?
And I think, you know what, though, just looking, man, these kids, you know, you talk about the rules and you talk about all this. You can't have 4 coaches with 1 and 1 coach with 4 and all. These kids sometimes, they're missing the skill stuff.
The small thing.
Yeah, the small thing.
And you know what? Small things become big things. And then you wonder why, you know, some of these young men are not able to take it to that next level. Sometimes it's these things right here that once again, I got to give a shout out to the parents that brought all their kids out here today.
And that are here. You
And
understand?
that are here.
Jelani James with a nice move there, that going on the cross, hop step, and finishing with that left hand on the left side.
You know, if you have skills, fellas, I was watching I had a chance to watch the Big 3 last night.
Who
and
won?
Whatever
Baby
team,
Power won.
whatever team Big Baby on, and I think I fell asleep on the other game. But I'll say this much. This is how you know the skill is important, because those guys are old, the knees are old, and they're still semi in shape, but you can see some of their skill stuff. You can see a jump stop, you can see a drop step, you can see the moves that we're doing out here, that's some of the stuff that I was seeing last night. So, you know, the pivots and so like I said, once you got that skill embodied in you.
Right. I tell you, I didn't get a chance to see the first one, but watched a little bit of the second one. Dante Jones came off the bench last night. I mean, he was impressive. He was impressive. Big Baby Davis still got all those low post moves. I don't care if he didn't put on 25, 30 pounds more.
But you know what that is? That's skill.
Yeah,
that's just straight up skill.
Right. Which, once again, those guys are not in the league anymore. So now you start to think about the skill that a lot of those guys that are still there. It's those little things. So, but even out here, and I'll keep saying it until I'm blue in the face, the little things need to be done correctly so they don't end up becoming big things and end up costing you. That's the Luke Champion kid.
Yeah, that's a nice move.
No, not only is it a nice move, I've been paying attention to him. Like, he got some lift too now. Don't be surprised, he got some lift.
You know what? I was looking at, we were talking about Luke Champion. I was thinking about the other big kid they got at Lambert. But Luke Champion's a problem too, though.
Yeah.
Take a look there. There's Brendan Tucker, who's grown on Barry though. Virginia Tech, College of Charleston, Oregon State, UGA, among some of the offers.
I just think he's going to be I think he's going to be a good combo guard on the next level. I think he'll be a guy that's going to be productive and a good combo guard on the next level.
You know what? I just look at it like this. Sometimes you look at some guys and they're just positionless guys, right? You know, there's just some guys just got to go out there and be players. So,
but the game is becoming positionless.
I was just about to say it's becoming positionless because we say combo guard and then we say wing. You don't hear now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 power forward or a center. You're hearing wing, combo guard. I still old school. I still want my 5 positions. But if you're able to do multiple things out of your position, then stretch the floor. You got to stretch forward now. The 5 is what we really don't have a nickname for.
Right.
Other than P for post.
Extinct.
Yeah.
That's a name.
I
totally agree with you.
Listen, I saw
4
true centers last week.
Oh, boy.
At CP3 Rising Star. 4 true. Rim to rim. I saw one center. He did not shoot a shot past 6 feet.
Right.
At all. So
he was highly effective too, wasn't he?
Oh man, very effective. Let's go into Coach E.
Come on now, we're gonna go transition flares. So you go, you going on the left side. All right, so you stay on this side. You go on the left side, you stay on this side. First person don't have a ball. First person don't have a ball. What you're gonna do is you're gonna flare. So you're gonna flare out as you go into transition. You running. You gotta see the ball. So we here. Boom. Flare out. We gonna catch. Change the line. One hard dribble change. Get to the cup. You got it? First move, you're going twice. Hard dribble, change your line. So when you get here, you're gonna sidestep, change your line. Hesitate, change, get to the cup. Demonstrate, Brendan. Flare, let's go. Come on, change your line. Oh! You on the left side of the court, where the ball gonna be? You got deficiency right here, Mark. Change, boom, explode. Good, all right? Make sure when you get here, change your line, sidestep, read the defense, explode, change, finish. Off the change, there's no dribbles after. So we here, quick change, launch pad. Y'all got it?
Start going downhill, try to send them this way, make them think you're trying to go strong left all the way, then change direction.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna teach you, I'm gonna go ahead and teach it to you now. As a wing player, come here, Brendan. You gotta learn terminology. When we say change the line, give him the ball, Phil. The line is you and the defense. So now, if you playing with the basketball and we don't change the line, where's the defense at? Stationary. So what you do is you change the line. So you go sidestep laterally. Now I gotta move. When I move, that's when you're looking for what, Brendan? First leg, first shoulder, first arm. Whatever you see, that's what you're going at. Because when you change the line, Bree, change the line. Now I come here, big, there you go. Because one thing, I can't close out and recover at the same time. So what you do is change your line and you use that to read the defense. Now, once you read the defense, pick your poison. Now you're going, go get your money. Launch pad, you got it? Change your line, hard push, change, launch pad. Let's go. Gang speed, we're going twice. Gang speed, let's go, B. Let's go, change the line. Go on.
Okay, Coach Preston, your thoughts, and then we'll go to Barry. I'm deferring to the coaches, though.
My thoughts right there is I liked how Dez talked about attacking that top foot, you know, talking about the foot, shoulder, arm, right? Once again, to me, everything's got to be tight because the setup is what leads to the lead up to get to the basket. If you're standing up on the setup, I'm going to still be able to recover. But if you're low the whole time and you are in an attacking mode looking to attack north and south, then right there now, I'm at a disadvantage. 9 times out of 10, you're going to get to the basket and probably get fouled as well.
I agree with Coach right there. Just basically him talking about how to change the lines and also how to attack a certain spot. They won't be able to recover. And like I said, once you get to the basket, you're looking to explode the finish. And
I love all of those. The other thing I'm going to accentuate on that is, like, once you change that line, you come back, there's no dribbles. Launch pad, boom. You have 2 steps to the basket. And that's sometimes even like we talk with the unnecessary power dribble. Once you got him beat, you got to go up.
Right.
So I like that effort there. And then another thing that Dez is known for, the terminology. You got to know the terminology.
And one of the other things is when he's talking about launch pad, because you also got to think about defensively, my job, if I'm 2 passes away, I need to have 2 feet in the paint. So depending on when they start that drive, if that help and rotation comes over, they might be late. And that's where I talked about the and one, because they could be below to where most of the time, depending on GHSA officiating, I ain't going to even go there today. Okay,
it ain't a ref in the building.
But once again, depending on who's calling the game, you know, it should be an and one. I'm going to leave it at that.
Or a postal.
I just looked at Dontavius King from Dutchtown, man. Whew.
Originally out of Greenville, South Carolina, where they play very good basketball.
Man,
but you see King's impact last year.
And you know what? It's funny that Coach Bassett and I from Dutchtown go way back. Coach Bassett, man, was a big
you
fella.
You're going to get your 2 minutes, Blue.
I was about ready to bring it up.
He was a big fella, man, himself. So, like I said, he raved and talked about King. And, man, like I said, King's improving by leaps and bounds. So, I can't wait to see what this senior year is going to be like out there at Dutchtown.
And gets to play with Cam Bryant as well. Got to see him on the summer circuit. Coach, you and I took him in. So, between King and Bryant, Dutchtown, they could make a little noise.
But they made some last.
Exactly. That's why I'm using it loosely. They made noise at the end of the year. So
Coach Bassett said he still wants his respect for Coach Preston, but we're going to leave that. We'll say that for later on.
Respect is earned, not given.
That's Lewis Preston, Barry Brown. I'm Joe Hillsman. Glad that you were with us here on SUV TV's coverage of the Grassroots United, the Elite Wings camp here in Marietta, Georgia, Wheeler High School. This is what we do. Looking at the future, developing the wings. These are 2s and 3s. Grassroots United next week it'll be 1s and 5s, so we'll get to see, maybe we'll get to see some post-entry passing.
That's a lost art.
But maybe I'm telling you, Des Eastman, man. I mean, listen, you have to respect the body of work, man, that's been put in and the training and knowledge of the game. But it's one of those things where you're sitting here, all of these players are high school. Here's Luke Champion again. There's a nice move, Luke Champion. I mean, you got Griffin Neville out here. Yeah. There's some hoopers out here that when it comes to mid-February and region tournament and state tournament start, you're going to be wondering how they got their team done. It's going to be part of the reason. It's going to be how it went.
Just watched a young man, Connor Thompson from Heritage High School, make a nice little inside, you know.
Here comes. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No. I didn't have the name right.
Okay. But I'm always, you know, got to keep your eyes on what's those next up-and-coming guys. So,
there's Luke right there.
Yeah.
Luke Champion. And he's been flushing it every single time.
Got a little Chandler Parsons to him.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit of Chandler Parsons to him.
Yeah. We know you're biased on that, but yeah.
I'm very biased.
Zaire Green, Miller Grove, drive with the left-hand lay. Brandon Harris, Johnson, Savannah. He's out here.
I gotta see where Tyler Johnson is. One of Cedar Shoals' finest.
I mean, listen, Tyler Johnson and Quincy Canty, two very, very solid players, man, and they've had good springs, good summers. Coach Eldrico Thomas at Cedar Shoals, every time I talk to him, it's a grin. It's a nice smile, and you know, for what he's done for that program now, to have his players in camps of this nature just speaks to what he's been able to do.
Exactly. Says a lot about how. No, it says a lot of how much not only these guys continue to develop, but how their names are getting out there, right? And they want to take and put themselves up against the best, and that's what it all comes down to.
I mean, you look at the state of Georgia, the body of work in the state of Georgia. I know I posted Hoop Circle a couple weeks ago. I posted why Georgia won't smoke with any state in the country, man, in basketball. And it's the reason, man. Our 18 class was good. Our 19 class is going to be great. These 20 to 21s, man, look, it's some special kids. And Georgia is like, it's the necessary evil of recruiting. You know what I mean? You got to come to Georgia, to get players.
Well, that's the reason why so many Power 5 and mid-major plus, mid-major programs have come through here. Is just what they see on the horizon with the amount of talent, the 2020, 2021. And, I'm not sleeping on the 19 class at all either.
No, I mean, it's the guys in that 19 class, man. I mean, that are really good, the state loses a big kid like Rodney Howard and Jalen McQuarrie, but you still got a Jared Coleman Jones and McKeechin. Mm-hmm. You still there's a couple of other guys. You still got an Issa Muhammad. You still got a Brandon Boston, Kyle Sturter. I mean, so
we just running off Norcross half of their roster right there.
I mean, you know what? But the crazy part about this season, man, is that it's about the. You know what? I think it's going to be more balanced than people think it's going to be. Like, I think we in for a good season, man, but the kickoff of something like this is big, too.
Oh, yeah. Young man that had a chance to watch from a big man perspective, Colin Granger.
Right.
From Lambert. He trimmed that body down and is able to get up and down the floor, do a variety of different things. So
him championing Mitch Gannott at the guard position, man. Yeah. Gonna be problems.
Scott Bracco always keep him he always keep a little thing stirred up over there at Lambert, so not sleeping.
You gotta watch, I be watching Stars Mill too, man. To get Jermaine Mann and Nate Allison is gonna be big. And just to talk to Coach Gibbons a couple of days, man, just talk about how hard those guys are working, man, and changing that culture at Stars Mill.
Well, I got a question for you, Barry. I mean, we see Jameer Chaplin out here. How's Meadow Creek gonna be this year?
You know what? Interesting about Meadow Creek. Jameer Chaplin, they lost some pieces.
Right.
They lost some pieces. I think they just had a guard transfer to Collins Hill. But then they brought in Damian Dunn. But to lose the two big fellas.
Right.
You bring back Kendrick Green, so it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen with Meadow Creek, defending state champ.
But Coach G, though, his emphasis has always been defense.
Right.
Now, you're losing Hightower and Amir Kelly, but Chaplin still had an effective part on that defense.
Right.
Now, we've known Jameer to always be a solid, 14 and 10 guy. I think you're going to need 18 and 12 from him now.
And you add a guy like Damian Dunn who can put the ball in the basket as well. You bring back Kendrick Green who's older and more wiser now. Mm-hmm. So it'll be interesting to see.
But just with the addition of Dunn, do you think they become a little bit more offensively offensive minded? Do they score? Because you know they used to be the team first to 50.
Right.
You know, are they a 60-point team now, or are they still in that 50 to 55, 56 range?
Well, the true test of a great coach to me is how do you adapt to your personnel,
Right.
and how do you adapt to your roster. So, although Coach G's calling card is defense, I think now with that amount of offensive talent, it might be the first one to 65.
Right.
Okay. You know.
In knowing Coach G, man, the years I've known and coached against Coach G a time or two, one thing I know he does a good job of, he has guys, he always finds a big, long guy that can play. A couple of years ago at Stevenson, he had Tyrell Johnson. And so now, you know, he had those two big guys last year. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with them. But
Let's take a look. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I just don't know if we have a clear cut. No, you know, I don't know if we got a clear cut right now.
Clear cut what?
#1 team in the state.
Not especially after what Mountain View just did. That's loaded up. Coach Roy just went over there and just said, you know, I'm tired of all of this. Okay, let's go mic'd up.
We on the left side. Pay attention. Now we going to some shooting drills. Slide, curl, catch, and shoot. Bring it in a little bit, Phil. Pay attention to his mechanics. Slide, curl, catch, and shoot. Now, when we coming off a down, when you're coming off a wide pin down, inside leg. So what he'll be playing with the right leg, then he's gonna get 10 toes at the rim. Now, you see that? What's the first thing you see? His hands. You know what that tell me? That's a shooter. So when you see me walk in the gym, how you see me walk in? I walk in just like this. I tie my shoes just like this. I eat just like this, because I'm a shooter. That's what shooters do. That's how you can tell a shooter when, hey, if you ever see somebody get off a bus like this, be scared of him, because he's going to let it fly. Let's go, Phil, let's go. Slide, curl, catch and shoot. Come off hard. Inside leg, 10 toes, 2 shoulders. One more time. Slide, curl, catch and shoot. Inside leg, 10 toes, 2 shoulders. Hey, we gonna put something on it. Count out your mate. First group to 25. Let's go. Losers got push-ups, game speed.
10 toes, 2 shoulders. That's called squaring up, isn't it?
That's what it's called.
Catch and shoot, turn and square,
Right.
let it fly.
Most important thing I liked out of that was the very last thing he said. First one to 25. I think when you get shooting drills of any kind like this, there must be competition.
Makes.
And
25
exactly.
makes.
Right. And so with those 25 makes, you know what? There's a definitive winner and loser.
And there can only be one winner. So 3 sets gonna be doing push-ups. So, and the thing is, another thing he said, game speed. Now you can't emulate game speed, but you know what that means. Go hard.
Yeah.
You're trying to get your hoop.
Go hard every time.
And as you can see, and as you hear, if you're listening at home, you don't hear dribbling, because it's catch and shoot. There's no need. Square up, 10 toes, 2 shoulders.
He ain't kidding, man. Guys that walk in the gym.
Walk in the gym like that.
Look.
Cause see, next time Maven walk in, see, he didn't see me. He got me, but.
Hey, I'm not gonna tell this pro player's business, but years ago, hanging out with this guy, man, we in the club. He had his hands up in the club. I didn't know what was going on.
Why you gotta bring up the club?
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm being
It was the health club.
Yeah, it was the health club.
Okay.
It was the health club. He was getting a fruit juice, and he had his hands up. We had to tell him to drop his hands for 2 seconds so he can pick his juice up.
Yo, funny. That's how Lee Humphrey walked in the gym. That's how Lee Humphrey walked in. He's like this the whole time.
Walking in.
Yeah.
Because you got to be ready. Catch and shoot. And I know sometimes it's like putting it in your shooting pocket. That's why I'm big on passing. When you know you have a good shooter, give him a good crisp pass, catch it, what we call in rhythm, in your shooting pocket, in the shooting motion.
And the only way you can do that is if you got your hands up. So there's no, I got to drop my hands. I got to think about it. I got to come back. Hey, as soon as that ball touch your hand, because, Coach, you know this, coaching NBA, coaching guys who are in the NBA, as soon as that ball hit your hand, it's got to go up. There's no, I gotta think about it. I gotta get my form ready. No, as soon as it hit your hand, bang, it's got to go.
It cannot be wasted motion.
Right.
And
yes.
And I was a defensive guy and taught defense. Wasted motion gives me the opportunity to rotate, and it makes me first team all defense. If there's no wasted motion, it'll make you first team offense, all offense. It's just that plain and simple. And I love watching and seeing guys who are coming off, you know, if you're dropping. Now, once again, I was a shot blocker, so I always looked at two things: how your hands were and where your eyes were. Told me exactly what I need to put my hand up to contest the shot.
I'm waiting on the counts now. And another thing too with shooting drills, I'm big on this. Fix the ball. Good rotation. If you've got even rotation, the basketball is made to rotate upon itself on its quote-unquote laces. Fix that thing, boom. Let it go. Because it becomes habit, you know.
Yeah.
I had a young one say, it takes too long to fix the ball. Not if it's a habit. It's a tenth of a second.
Hey, I know y'all aren't video game geeks like me, but I'm gonna tell you something that helps you out as far as like when you playing real basketball, playing video games. When you hitting that, when you're passing that ball and you gotta hit that button as soon as it touches your hand, and you watching the release, you'll be surprised how much that plays into it.
Well, we see which group won.
We're gonna have to talk about that off the air.
But see, now, I mean, I get that, I get it. But here's another thing why I like playing video games: the plays. You see the plays develop. You see your pin down action, your zippers, your flares. Especially if you're playing 2K, that's NBA stuff.
Right.
Joe Hilsman, Barry Brown, Lewis Preston, 3/4 of the Georgia Hoop Circle. In the Grassroots United Elite Camp, Wings Camp. Let's go back mic'd up as we go to another drill. Coach Desmond Eastman.
Defenders trailing them. Run through the screen, keep them on your back. One bounce. Inside leg, pulling up. Let's go, one bounce, pulling up, let's go. Cut them off. One dribble shot, inside leg, square up. Let's go. First group of 25, let's go. Run through it, let's go, come on.
Now you get the dribble. One dribble.
But you know, once again, it's one dribble off that inside leg right up into the shot, because you know what? This is showing you from a defensive perspective right here, the defense is trailing. Defense is trailing. If you come off of that chair the right way, or you're coming off that screen the right way, and you are making that contact shoulder to hip, right? You're going to get that inside 1-2. 9 times out of 10, the defense is going to be behind you. If they try to contest from behind, that's going to be a foul, depending on GHSA officiating.
Coaches can't leave them alone.
Just watch Eric Coleman shoot that little 15-footer, man. Really like Eric Coleman. Been watching Eric Coleman, man, since he was probably in about the 7th grade, maybe 7th or 8th grade. Just really, his development at Buford is going to be key for that squad to make a run to get back to that championship game.
Well, you talking about Coach Martin. There's always development going on with him.
Yeah.
Historically, always been development.
Eric Coleman coming over from King Ridge. They went 12-14, but now he's had him a pretty solid spring and summer, and it'll be very interesting, to use Barry's word, to see how he and Watson and Nixon play together. Because I mean, Nixon can shoot. I still think they're lacking a true point guard. I think they brought in a point guard.
I mean, well, they still got Bobby Miller, though.
I like Bobby Miller. I think Bobby Miller is underrated, but I'm ready to see it now on a consistent basis. Because Bobby Miller, look, that's got a little New York hoop in him, and battled through some injuries, but had a good training regimen, good build-up program over the summer. So it'll be interesting to see, can he adapt to that? But Bobby also can score.
Right. I'll tell you, I've watched him a couple times come off of that screen with that inside foot, and I really like his rotation. The kid, A.J. Hopkins from Whitfield Academy.
Yeah, and Whitfield, he's being coached by his coach used to coach at Courtney Brooks.
Okay.
Coach Dwight Howard at Southwest Atlanta Christian and Javars Christian.
Okay.
And I'm making Coach Preston proud. I'm seeing a number of lefties.
You know it was National Left-Handed Day earlier this week.
Earlier this week.
I'm about to get excited. I'm left-handed.
Oh, you are?
Left-handed.
That's why we get along so well.
Left-handed.
Except when we talk about officials.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Now, I'm right-handed, but I drive with the left.
Oh, there you go.
It is because, listen, that's something I learned. You're going to always force me left thinking I can't go left. So it's actually my strong hand.
All right, Mr. Ambidexterity.
No. Just, I didn't know you was left-handed, Barry. Make both of y'all go right. It's over. You can't go right.
Child, please.
Yeah.
All right.
I was strong left, baby.
Hey, I don't need to go. I don't need to go right when I power off too.
That's it.
Okay. Push-ups going on again. This group over here is just continuing to win.
Yep.
4 goals. The Grassroots United. Shooting drills.
You know something else I always pay attention to in these drills? I always like to see who's going first. Who wants to step up first? Luke Champion, every single time in his group, has been the first guy to come off of a drill. That's another key to me as a coach as well. Because you know what? It's like, all right, he wants to get better. You know, he wants that attention that it's going to take to get better. Some people just kind of like fall into the limelight, you know, and like, you know, some people don't want to live up to that moment. I love when guys automatically step in and want to be the first person to go through the drill.
Coach, it's the first person, but then I'm going to tell you what, when I was going through these drills in camps, I would cut you because I wanted another rep.
Yeah.
I would cut you and learn if I could do that. I was taking a look at Logan Turner, Centennial. He in Champions group. Luke Champion warming on me, man. What Bracco has done, and I know Barry's a big Bracco guy. I like Bracco too. Lambert again is gonna be in the mix again. We saw Mitch Gano this summer, what they were able to do. So between Gano and Champion, you know that.
And Granger.
Yeah, Colin Granger. Sorry, Miss Granger. I'm sorry. Ooh.
You will be getting a tweet.
Yes, I will. A direct message, a DM
message.
on that one. But yeah, that's 3 key solid guys right there. But I think really Gano was underrated. I really think he was underrated. And listen, it's a different sport. It's lacrosse. And that lacrosse program is great. He's a championship lacrosse player. All right. And then walked right on the basketball floor and had a wonderful, wonderful spring and live period. And played with a lot of heart. So between Gano, Champion, and Granger, yeah, Lambert's in good hands.
Right. But once again, just also tells you about the strength and the power of 7A basketball as well, because it's like, if you don't really pay attention, you can fall asleep on a team like Lambert. We saw, once again, you know, they were my dark horse, but I watched Meadow Creek last year. That may have been the best defense I've seen play in high school.
If Lambert's in 6A or maybe 5A, they probably win.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They probably win.
I ain't going to take nothing away from well, not last year. I don't care who you was. Like, you was going to win it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. but Lambert's probably in that championship game.
Yeah, and in 5A, yeah, they could beat
win
them. They win it. They could beat Miller Grove. They could beat Warner Robin. They could beat anybody. Yeah. I mean, you saw what Miller Grove did to Buford. That's Buford.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all, boy, 5A. Oh my goodness, this year is gonna be something else, man. 5A gonna be something.
Speaking of the
so you showed that? Well, I just had to put that out though.
Speaking of right now, what do we think that Coach Sharman White's gonna do?
At Pace?
Over at Pace Academy.
Listen, he got a guy, Josh Reed, who was up at CP3 Rising Stars last week. That's a freshman. It's going to be interesting. I know I can tell this story. Coach White has not filled out his schedule yet. And I asked him, he said he had one game. I said, okay. He's like, who is it? I said, well, I'm not sure yet, Coach. And he texted me back and he said, it cannot be X, Y, Z. We're not ready for that yet. And that's just the respect that Sean has for those programs. But I'm going to tell you something about Pace. Pace is an outstanding school, outstanding community. And what bringing Sharman White in now, if you thought Pace was good in basketball previously, they're going to be extra good. And how good are they? It's going to bleed over to the Lovett and the Westminster, that whole little corridor. Just watch. Just watch. So the other group now in this far basket from we're behind the basket here at Wildcat Arena. I technically say we courtside. We courtside. You know, not in the perch. Look, Luke Champion just can't be still.
Nothing wrong with that.
And the thing is, also talking about the guys that we know, he come catch and shoot. Just also watching guys' numbers that we don't know. I like 38 right here, yeah. Abraham Jajan. Yeah. He's really been getting after it in his drills. And I'm got to try to make sure I stay with our program view. We're looking, here we go. This basket right here to the right of us. Coach Nard standing there as well.
Right. I tell you, just had a chance to watch Tyler Johnson come off of that. Boy, he really got some spring and lift on his jump shot.
His game just came on.
Oh, really has developed. Really has developed. Here he is coming off again. Beautiful. Didn't do anything but tickle the twine.
Tickle the twine.
Looking like a young Joel Hillsman out there.
Keandre Jackson, Green Forest High School, though.
Green Forest is another team that's going to be loaded this year, man.
Yeah, but Jarju going over the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
I mean, this is August. We should not have this conversation, but Holy Spirit, you want to talk about somebody being at Dick's or at, Geico. It's
going to be hard to keep them out of there.
It's very hard. Very hard. But if they are going to be kept out, it's going to be because of their December schedule with some of the 7A schools in Georgia.
Yeah. Guard play is going to be big for them, too, though.
You like DeAndre Brown?
I like DeAndre Brown, but I got to see what they're going to do at the point, though. If it is Khalil Brantley.
So you don't think Brown is the point?
I don't know. Brown is really good off the ball, but it's gonna be hard to have him off the ball right now with
Brantley.
I mean, probably because Ant-Man probably gonna play what, the 3?
I would play him at the 3. I think he's a 2 when you get to the league.
Yeah, he's a 2,
but he at 3 right now.
I mean,
because I don't know if he's done growing. What is he, 6'5"?
Yeah,
he don't have a position to make.
I mean, because you got to think, I hate to talk about what their starting lineup would be, but I would probably start Jarju,
Langley, Edwards, Brantley, and Brown. That's my starting 5. And you can come have some. You can come get some. You want some? Come get some.
I can coach that squad.
That'll make you come out of coaching. Listen, the talent that was at CP3 last week made Mario Mays when you start thinking about it. All right, let's go, Mike, though.
Right after each other. So what are you going to do? Ray Allen back to the corner. Catch and shoot. Give me the ball, B. Oh, she have another one. Go again. Ray Allen to the corner. Catch and shoot. Now we got a wide pin down. On the lift. Catch and shoot. Then the next man go, next man go, next man go. Gain speed. Let's go, Phil. Let's go. Lift. Go again. Let's go. Go one more time, Phil. Let's go. Oh, I ain't even tell y'all. In yesterday's workout, 107 free throws in a row. Who, yesterday? JB. 107 in a row from the free throw line. You got to lock in when you're scoring, when you're working out. Lock in. All right, we got it? All right, let's go. Back to your group. Let's get a good burn. Let's go. Ray Allen drill. Let's go. Hey, while one man going, it should be a couple of rebounders. Let's go. Make sure y'all get the pass of the ball in time. Who's going first? Who's first? Who's first? Let's go, Sam. Let's go. Everybody's scared. Let's go.
So once again, back in the Ray Allen, which is basically a shuffle back into a wide pin down for the jump shot. You know, Ray Allen to me has always been one of the best shooters I've ever seen. And one of the things I always keep my mind open about with Ray Allen is always was his form. Hands were always ready, and it took him like a split second to get his shot off.
Yeah, Ray. I mean, that's the thing that made Sugar Ray so special, man.
Sugar Ray.
Just how he shot that basketball.
Strip the nets.
Yeah. He'll always be Jesus Shuttlesworth for me.
He the best shooter in the league, period, in history. I mean, I know everybody falling in love with Steph.
Nah, it ain't nothing like Ray. Man.
Ray is the best shooter, man. Period.
Yeah,
He been stroking that thing since Milwaukee.
So we
since Seattle, I'm sorry.
We can make our first SUV TV Twitter poll question. Who is the best shooter of all time?
Well, your millennium's gonna go with Steph Curry now. Okay?
I was gonna go Reggie Miller.
Oh, please, no, not over Ray Allen. Ray Allen is the purest thing, period, man. If the conversation it ain't a conversation if it don't start with Ray Allen. Then you throw in Hershey Hawkins, then Reggie Miller, then Steph Curry.
I don't know about Hershey Hawkins.
Hershey Hawkins shoot the ball though.
Boy, Hershey Hawkins, man, come on.
We need to make that an SUV Twitter poll question and get 4 names.
Hold on. Coach Preston, this is gonna show you how old I am. The best shooter I ever played with, Al Dillard. I don't know if you remember Al Dillard. They played at Arkansas. Won a national championship.
In '94?
Best shooter I ever played with, Al Dillard.
Scotty Thurman shot that thing too on that team.
I like Al Dillard. Go.
I know who Al Dillard is.
Google Al Dillard, man.
I know who that is, but I mean, I give you another shooter, the Alex English.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I like Alex English over Hershey Hawkins. I'm not a big Hershey Hawkins guy. I don't know why though.
You leave him over there in that wing in that corner. Won't you find out what happened?
I tell you one thing, y'all sleeping on the Boston Strangler, Andrew Toney.
Okay.
The 76ers back in the day.
I like Tony. I like Tony, but I don't know.
I'm trying to think who the best shooter the Hawks ever had.
Pistol Pete.
Nah.
Bob Pettit. Kyle Korver.
It's a good one.
Dang, Kyle Korver? Is he really? No. I mean, boo. Lisa gave me a boo.
Oh my God.
Oh, we're gonna be complete.
Man,
I tell you. I will say this about this drill though, Joel and Barry. This is a hard drill for the simple fact that you got to stay low as you're shuffling back with your hands ready. So you're actually fighting against your body for that initial shot in the corner, but then change the speed, change the direction into that wide pin down to come off of that inside pivot for a shot. This is where you get to separate your shooters from your scorers.
I'm gonna have to steal him for a minute. Mario Mays has completed the Georgia Hoop Circle.
What's up, brother?
Ain't nothing, man. This the house you built, so we glad you showed up.
Hey, man. Hey, don't start that. I'm just a fly on the wall, man.
We've been going through the skills and drills. You're very familiar with Coach Eastman and what he does. But while I got you and Coach Preston here together, I've talked about you, so I guess your ears were burning. I talked you up.
Yeah, I've been asleep, man. I couldn't sleep. I was like, man, what's going on, man? Joe Hillsman must have got some voodoo going, man.
But just to kind of talk to Coach Preston about what you saw last week at CP3, because we've kind of put that in the mix of the collection of talent.
All I got to say is this, man. It's been a long time since I went into a gym, and that ain't no disrespect to nobody's talent, because it's, you know, I feel like when we around here in the state of Georgia, like we kind of spoil, because it's a lot of talent here. But I guess what was crazy to me was just the young 14, 15-year-old kids that I thought were, I mean, they played at a level that I felt like they've already been on the high school level. They were, to me, at 13 and 14 and 15 years old, they look like they could play varsity right now. And I ain't talking about just be a filler on the floor. I mean, play varsity to the point where they could be effective. And then the size, Lou, like, I'm just looking like, man, this is, it's been a while, I guess, since, you know, like I said, that I wouldn't say excited, in awe, you know, kind of like, golly, if this is what is coming through the pipe, boy, somebody's gonna be blessed to catch some of this talent.
Right.
It almost made him want to coach. Hey. It got to the point I said, if you could take 12 of these right now as your varsity team.
Hey, look, Lou, I promise you, I can get 12 with them. Hey, let's get back in it. And guess what? I'm going to come out here and be able to compete with the best of the best, because that's how serious some of that talent was with some of them young guys, man. And then just the feel they had for the game, and then just on sheer athleticism and size alone. They ready to compete on the varsity level right now. Like, I can see some of them guys stepping into a program tomorrow and making a dent in it. The only thing that you would question is just mentality.
Right.
You know, being able to compete.
Just the experience part of it when it's all said and done.
Yep.
Because they went out there and they were fearless. Like, just going back and just watching some of the, you know, some of the things that were broadcast. That was what stuck out to me more than anything, was just how fearless those young players were.
Yep.
And how truly lucky they are to get a player of CP3's, of Chris Paul's stature, not only to talk to them, but one of the things we were talking about earlier, the little things you got to do. Like, you can get away with it being wide in high school because of your talent.
Yep.
You got to sharpen that thing down when you get to college.
Yep.
And it's got to be real tight when you go to the pros.
You got to be precise.
Yep.
You got to understand where you're trying to get, and you got to get there a certain way. And then just the fact of him talking to the kids about, you know, he asked a question that I thought was very interesting. How many of you guys, something about, we're going to play JV?
Yeah. How many are going to play JV this year?
And he talked about having to play JV.
Not 1 year.
Yeah.
2 years.
And just that process. And so, you know, when you think about Chris Paul, you don't think like, this guy had to play JV? You know what I'm saying? 2 years of high school, he had to play JV, and now he's arguably, you know, top 2-3 point guards in the world. So to me, and a lot of times, man, when you get high level kids, that kind of blows their mind, because I think they feel like, I never play JV. No, you ain't never too good to do nothing.
Right.
You know, I hope that kind of brought someone back down to earth to realize that, you know, you still got to grind it out as far as this game goes.
Yeah. Let's go mic'd up, Des.
Pay attention, we got two more drills on this rotation, then we're gonna go to pick and roll right before y'all go to lunch. This one, we got Iverson cuts. Let's go, we got Iverson's back and forth, back up, back up. Give me one rebounder down there, 2 rebounders. Let's get 6 hard ones, let's go, gain speed. Come off the Iverson, let's go, give me a ball, let's go. Lock in, let's go. Lock in. Watch his footwork. Watch his footwork. Watch him square up and under. Let's go, 2. Let's go, Phil. 3. Open up, square up, 4. Watch his footwork. Last one. Going back, same side. Let's go. We got to shoot 2, then the next man go. So come up the middle, shoot 2, next man go. Get 30 as a group.
Oh, we thank Mario for dropping in just a second. But Coach, you and I, in one of our conversations, you're from Virginia. We were talking about best players from Virginia. We see the Iverson cut now. I mean, where did that come from?
AI.
AI. Why is that now a staple of playbooks across the country in basketball?
Because first of all, it gives you a great chance as you're coming off of that. You get a great feel of where the defense is, and depending on how offense is set up, it's a clear out for you to attack one-on-one. And if your footwork is right and you know how to come off of that, one of the things that made Iverson great off of that, he could come off of it his inside pivot and shoot, he could come off reverse pivot and shoot, and he could come off either way and drive. You know, and a lot of that is predicated on how the defense is playing. It's very funny. This is how we started all of our offense at Florida. All of our offense at Florida either started off of an Iverson cut, which was also, we called it a roadie cut, right? Or it started off the Iverson cut over the top, and then the opposite player going underneath. I would usually call that face action right there. But once again, it made the defense have to move. They had to adjust, and any type of adjustment is usually to the offensive team's advantage.
What do you like about the Iverson cut?
I was picking up on what Coach was saying. Just coming back, I definitely agree with that. Like I said, that's a good way actually to start it off with those cuts, though.
And even more importantly, it gets spacing. Yeah, it gets great spacing as well.
And then, like, Coach, you talk about, okay, you can come off inside and shoot, outside and shoot, or you can drive. To me, that's just a mobile triple threat. It's a mobile triple threat position. That's what it is. And you go either side of the floor.
You better coin that phrase before I take it.
A mobile triple threat?
Triple threat. It's the first time I heard that.
I know a little basketball, just a little bit, trying to soak it up. But, I mean, that's what it's about, though. You want to be able to have options. Yep. And as an offensive player, you have to know against a good defender, their job is to limit your options. So if they take one thing away, you should be able to, and if you're good enough to be able to do something else.
Right. You're absolutely right. And what made this cut so famous was Iverson could do so many different things.
Because he had so much freelance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We ran something like this. We ran a play like this at Grayson. I shouldn't tell this man play, but I'm going to do it.
It's basketball, man.
Yeah. Hey, we ran horns like that.
Ooh.
That's exactly how we always ran, and we started off. That was one of the things that Coach Pierce did, run 2 guys like that. Sometimes guys weave in and out. So
this to me is some of the best stuff that you can get in a coaching clinic, right? That sometimes is missing, is because you get focused on certain things and you're not like, this has to me always been one of the Iverson cuts always been something that you can definitely teach not only at the grade level, the high school level, college level, pro level. And the thing is, it helps to create that spacing that's very important in order to be successful.
Joe Hillsman, Barry Browner, Lewis Preston, 3 parts of the Georgia Hoop Circle. Mario Mays dropped in for just a moment. And he's a former assistant coach here at Wheeler High School in Marietta, Georgia. Glad that you're with us. Grassroots United Elite Wings Camp. And also want to make mention of the beautiful basketball. I actually had to pick one up. I'm about tempted to go pick that one up. Spalding, official partner of the Gray. I know, right? It's Spalding, the official basketball provider of the Grassroots United Elite Wings Camp. If it's not a basketball, it's not the NBA. If it's not Spalding, I don't know if that's their catchphrase, but y'all can thank me later.
Adam Silver might give you a call.
He will, because I remember when he became the commissioner, the first Spalding ball I got out of the box when they delivered it to the studio had his signature on it, which made it official. So we could continue to talk about the Iverson cut.
But there's something else with this Iverson cut too. When you initially start out of that middle, one of the things I always talked about as a coach, change the speed, change the direction, right? And you got to understand when to shift from overdrive to third gear back to overdrive, because that's a little difference between being able to get your shot off and not being able to get your shot off.
Over the top, and he's getting through the screen. Going this side? Which way? It don't matter. Defender's going over the top, getting through the screen. A good passer is going to pass it away from the defender. So we get it. We rip, open up. One bounce, two bounce, get to the corner. What we doing? Separation. One bounce, pull up, two bounce, we get deep in the corner. Whichever one you want. Rip. Pulling up, mid-range, mid-range. Good wing player, know how to read the defender, get to your mid-range. Let's go. Now we go 2 shots. Same 2 shots.
One thing I love about it, and we've seen a lot of it recently on social media, and you talked about it, Coach, where let you be all defense, wasted motions, too many dribbles. And you see there's 1 for your pull-up, 2 if you're trying to get down here in this cone.
Right. You can definitely over dribble yourself into a situation. You know what I mean? Like, guys, I think we're so busy pound, 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 and you're not going anywhere. The defense player just sitting there just waiting on you to make a move. So I think we definitely see a lot of that going on right now.
I think one of the most important things here is when you catch the ball and you got to do that, and you got to do that reverse pivot. I think you got to keep that ball low, almost in a rip-through action, because it helps you right into your natural movement for the one dribble for the shot. But there are some guys that like to bring it over the top as opposed to ripping it. You know, I go from shoulder to shoulder.
Right.
Sometimes, depending on how low I am, I might go from hip to hip.
And I think as guys that played on the post or play, you know, always taught to go to rip through, you know, not to go over the top like that.
Right.
Guy stuck his hand in there. What they tell you? Rip that arm off.
Right. But you know, when you get a guy like Kevin Durant at 6'11",
right,
and he catches in reverse, and he's here because he just you know. So some of it's just dependent on size as well. So. It is great to see how some of these guys are picking up these different drills, because some of them look like they haven't worked on it very much. But how are you able to pick up a drill, adapt to a drill, and then being able to be successful with your drill? To me, that's always a 3-part step.
And this is stuff that once you get shown this one time, I mean, you know, this is stuff that you can go out in the backyard and work out. You can work on your own.
And this is something to me like you look at a player like a Jameer Chaplin, right? This is something that he's going to have to work on, because there's a lot of colleges that run this, this action right here. Coming off of that could be so good for you in a variety of different ways, and being able to get that separation. And you know, with how hard he plays, that separation is the little thing that can mean a lot for him. You know, it could be the difference between being, you know, second team and first team all conference.
You're right. You're exactly right.
I tell you, I love continuing to watch Tyler Johnson.
Yeah, Tyler Johnson, man, he's gonna be. Saw him at the open run last year. Watched him a couple other times. Watched him at Battle of Georgia. I mean, you know.
You know who I'm curious to see who's going to be at the guard, the 1-5 next week? Is Andrew Scott. Will he be there?
From Upson Lee. You know what? Where do you see him at right now? I mean, is he a D2 guy, low major guy?
He just grew on me throughout the course of the summer watching him, because he just kind of makes things happen. I know a lot of people are looking at Devin Butts and everything.
Right.
But, you know, with the – hold on, we're going to go back. Coach Eastman.
Now we're going to go side pick and roll, mid pick and roll, then we're going to break for lunch. What we're going to show you on the pick and roll, what you want to do, you want to take the defender below the screen. Take him below the screen. Now, once you get below the screen, square up and open up, because we're going downhill. Now, when you start to work with bigs, a good coach is going to make the big. Come on, Poppy. You play defense. As a big, sometimes you're going to have to set the screens as a wing player. You don't want to send the offensive player that way. So now, if I'm here, where would the offensive player go? He going that way. Not only that, I gave Poppy room to come under me and meet him on the other side. So as a good set, when you're setting good screens, you want to get up under the defender. Stop. I'm up under Poppy. Now, Poppy can't go under the screen. See it? I'm just brushing. Phil is just going to brush by me, and now he's going downhill. I set the screen, get up under Poppy, 45 degrees. Now I open up. It's me and Phil, 2-on-1 against the big. That's how you help the offensive player with the basketball. Now, in a sense of the wing players, you're going to be in a pick and pops position. So what we're going to do, get up under Poppy, brush. Now we open up, space out. 2-on-1 against the big. Point guard, you got a good point guard, they make a good read, we get a good shot every time. We're going to come off the screen, we're going downhill, 2 dribbles, we're going to get to the middle. So this is how it's going to look. Now, Phil has to get around me. Let's go, Phil. Let's go. Gain speed. Get around. Get around the hard hedge. Got to get around the hard hedge. Stay low at the point of contact. 2 dribbles, get to the middle. Let's go. Real easy. Let's go. Back to your goals. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get 30 on one side, 30 on the other. Game speed. Hey, let's go. Everybody get up top.
As you can see right there, Coach Eastman talked about the guard, the big pick and roll. And Coach, you know a little bit about that, right, being a big fella.
Yeah, and I think one of the most important things he talked about right there is depending on where that ball is on the court, and that's more of a flat pick and roll, what historically we've always called it. It is a true flat pick and roll when you put it in the middle of the floor. Right. They can go off either way, either side, either direction. So when they're coming off of this side, off the side pick and roll right here, I've always taught the offensive guy also, you got to be shoulder to hip coming off of that so the defender can't slide and get underneath you and push you out. Once again, north and south to raise up in the shot.
You know,
my job is to make sure that the defense, I'm head and shoulders by him, so the defense has got to be behind me as opposed to on my hip or back in front of me.
You're right. It's almost so much of a true shoulder rub that you almost like you want to have enough space. It's so the space is so small that you guys are all just pretty much rubbing shoulders, but not enough to knock you off what you're trying to do.
Right. And I think that's very important. You know, one of the things like watching Luke Champion right here, the last couple times he's done it, I always like how that second foot, right, when he comes in and that second foot into the shot, it's almost like a power step into the explosion to get that lift on the shot. That's very important as well. One of the things a lot of people historically don't teach people in regards to things of that nature. So I think that's always important.
Right.
The little things that mean a lot.
And that's the difference. And like I said, when we talk about we talk about guys that are low major, when we start talking about levels, a lot of guys don't like to talk levels. But when we start talking levels, you're talking about You talking about guys that are trying to, cause they need to win now.
Right.
They don't want to have to teach you so much.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And so I think that's something that's key.
Right.
You know, when we talk about these guys.
I've always been more, you know, the longer I stayed in the game and the more that I see it, I almost look at more things as a flat pick and roll as opposed to a side, you know?
Right.
Because the one thing with that flat, you can come off either way. Man, the defense is now, depending on how deep you can get into true help and recover right there. 9 times out of 10, they help and recover unless you are phenomenal, and I mean phenomenal, at rotating and communicating. Somebody's going to be left wide open.
Yep.
Joe Hillsman just got off the phone with Adam Silver in regards to the Spalding precision balls. So once again, don't be surprised when Joe Hillsman has his own signature ball. You know, with all the great sponsorship comments he's made in regards to Spalding. Actually, Joel, we were talking about the side pick and roll, flat pick and roll, how, you know, for these guards to understand how to come off, you know, and attack that big to help them be able to get that shot off, because once they get by, and if that big if the offensive big sets that screen the right way, you don't have to worry about the guard. You got to focus on the big man that's in front of you, because the guard should be behind you.
Shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
Shoulder to shoulder.
I mean, and it's got to be so, like I said, I was telling Coach Lou, that, man, it's so much shoulder to shoulder that you almost like you rubbing enough that you don't knock that dribbler off their spot.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's the one thing that we always talk.
And then coming off of that, you know, we see a lot of illegal screens or offensive fouls on that. The guard, you got to also allow your man to set. So sometimes I may get hit with the offensive foul on the screen. May not be my fault.
It may not be your fault. You're exactly right about that.
And sometimes if your guy, another thing, you know, we always talk about, hey, man, give your guy a chance to set. If his set looks funny, stop, come, reverse your dribble, be patient, tell him go back to that spot and let him get set. So once he sets that pick and once he holds himself, then you go back to right.
And you guys out there chatting, I saw some of the chat, you guys soaking up the knowledge. I'm soaking it up with you too, but we're glad that we're able to bring that to you. The Grassroots United Elite Wings Camp. He's Lewis Preston, Barrett Brown. I'm Joel Hillsman. Here on SUV TV, we are at Wheeler High School in Marietta, Georgia. Coach Desmond Eastman leading the Grassroots United Elite Wings Camp. Next week, it'll be the bigs and the guards, so that'll be very interesting. Let's take a look now. We're mic'd up with Coach Eastman.
How are you? You might want to come get some of this. All right, pay attention. Last 2 things we're going to show you on a pick and roll. You're not going to go through it because it's lunchtime. We're just going to show it to you. So when you come off a pick and roll, now we established that we coming off hard and we going downhill. First couple of times you're going to beat them. They're going to switch it up on defense. So now what they're going to do, they're going to hard hedge. On a hard hedge, split. Real easy. Throw the ball through, you're getting right into your shot. Come off. So now you reading the defense as a ball handler. Because once again, good wing players, you're going to have to learn how to handle the ball. You're going to have to learn how to set the screen. So now, Phil is looking at me. If my shoulders are above the offensive man that's setting the screen, I tipped him off as to how I'm going to play it. I tipped him off that we're going to either trap or we're going to hard hedge. So he's already prepared to split or get rid of it hot to the roller if they trap. So now we're going to hard hedge and we're going to split. Come off hard hedge, split, throw it through. Now we got an option. We're going to read the defense. We usually have 2 shooters and a dunker. Let's go, hard hedge. One more time, hard hedge. Boom.
If he just think you just gonna come right to him, he got you. So you want to make sure show him that I'm like. Remember the last read you went outside and showed.
Hold on. We got a group back there of about 5 or 6 ball players that obviously y'all know what the fuck y'all doing. That's what y'all telling me.
My group.
That's your group.
Well, yeah.
Oh, that's your group.
Yeah, my group.
Obviously, y'all know what y'all doing. Obviously, all 6 of y'all are already made ball players. That's what y'all telling me. Don't worry about it. I remember the 6. And when we come back from lunch and we get live and we go on 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 4-on-4, when you don't get a bucket, trust and believe I'm going to embarrass you for not paying attention. I remember the 6.
All you guys are thinking about is, oh, I'm gonna do that, then I'm gonna split. Most of the times when guys try to split, they turn the ball off. You know why? Because you instantly went and tried to just go through here. Instead of trying to go outside his shoulder like you did before. When you set the pick before and this guy came up, you went outside his shoulder. Now you're stringing him out. You're going outside his shoulder, you beat him. Now you're showing the same thing, except, oop, you cut back in there.
Gotta set him up.
Show one thing and do something else. But you have to look at it in slow motion. Look at it in slow motion, visualize it in your head, walk through it, run through it. Repetition builds over and over, builds muscle memory. But you guys gotta be focused, man. It's disrespectful for you guys to be over there and not focused over here.
Oh, don't worry about it. I know who 6 it is. I remember the 6. Now, we came off hard, we strung them out, we split. Now, after you beat Poppy twice, Poppy gonna jump the
All right, Coach Preston, I'm gonna let you go with that one because you like that. What just happened?
I mean, you know, it's one of the most simple things you can ever do. When somebody's talking, you got to give them the respect to have your eyes and your ears. First of all, eyes focused, ears open. Okay, eyes focused, ears open. And for those young lads over there that were doing their own thing, if I'm a coach, I'm gonna remember that. And we're like elephants. We don't forget anything that's negative.
Bear.
You know, because we will come back, and I won't embarrass you, right? I'll just make sure that you're sitting on the bench the last few minutes of the game.
Bear got his head down.
He had a flashback.
Go ahead.
Man, I had a flashback. I had a flashback as a player, as a you know, coach. I'm just going to, never mind. I'm not even going to put this coach out there. But I'll tell y'all off the air, though. Man threatened to fire me because I was on my phone in the middle of practice. We're going to leave that alone.
I look at it like this. I'm here. I'm a basketball player. I don't, it's like we were talking about paying attention to who's at the front of the line. I'm paying attention to who's front when you talk. That's how I look at it. So, you know, obviously, that group there, we're going to find out if they made ball players. Right. But I mean, that's what you get at Grassroots United, and that's Coach Eastman and his standards. And you know, you getting the knowledge,
right?
And there's a college coach in the building, and yourself. So.
Well, I think, you know, and I think one of the more important things is that you also on the other side of the floor have Jaylen Brown, who's sitting up in the perch, who's looking down, you know, and he's paying attention to that as well. You know, he didn't get to that level by thinking he had it all figured out by himself. You know, sometimes guys stay in the league or stay on a college team or make a high school team because they might not be the best player on the team. They might not be the best 10, but because they pay attention, they work hard, they do the little things, right? It makes it hard for the coach to say, I got to have him. And when you get to that level that Jaylen's at, that mid-level exception is 5.3 million.
5.3?
Yep. I mean, Coach, you hit the nail right on the head. There's a lot of guys, I'm sure we watch the NBA and we be like, man, that guy, what is that guy still doing in the league? But he's a good practice guy, a good character guy. He's a guy that's going to get guys focused. He takes them under his wing, so.
I'll give you a great example. I coached him at Notre Dame for 4 years, Chris Quinn, right? Chris Quinn's the top assistant for the Miami Heat. You know why? He was the 13th guy, right? But because he was always in the gym, he was always working hard, he was the community guy, right? He went up, right, through the ranks, and now he's next in line potentially to end up being the next coach there.
You know what? And it's funny. We talk about the NBA, man. We always talk about, you talk about guys you coach. I played against ton of guys. And it's funny, the people think guys, the Rasheed Wallaces, the Sam Cassells, man, those guys are crazy. You see them, wow, those guys are some of the smartest basketball players, you know what I'm saying, that you can be around. You can sit and you can talk, I've done it, and talk basketball with Sheed for hours. Just about just how he knows the game and how he understands every position on the floor, and he played the 4 and the 5.
There's a reason why Darrell Walker, when he was at Clark Atlanta last year, had
Sheed
Wallace
come down,
come and speak to the team on numerous occasions.
And Sheed stayed 2 days and worked out with him.
Yeah, yep. Darrell Walker now at Arkansas Little Rock. So it is now lunchtime here at the Grassroots United Elite Wings Camp. Joe Hilsman, Barry Browner, Lewis Preston here with you, and then the halftime will feature, or lunchtime will feature a Jaylen Brown workout. So we're gonna keep it here or break out? Okay, yep. So we're gonna go ahead and take a break right here. SUV TV's coverage of the Grassroots United Elite Wing Camp right here, the SUVTV.com.